Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Wednesday, October 2nd. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you are someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. And also, if you trade Bitcoin, I'll do a bonus analysis at the end. First off, one quick clarification. I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks represents 30 minutes of time. Stock number one, we will be looking at here, ticker symbol INDO. Very nice mover today, big volume, and now we have ourselves a good solid pattern. So let's get this pattern here drawn into play. So top part of the pattern, the resistance trend line portion right there. Bottom part of the pattern, we have this uptrending trend line right there. Let me change that to green to represent support. And then to make the pattern easier to see, let's just keep it all the same color. So we have our area of resistance, we have our support, we have the big move right there, we have the golf hole down here, and this would be known as a bull pennant pattern. Now, just because something's a bullish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed the price is going to go upwards. But would it catch anybody by surprise? Would it be shocking to anybody if the price comes up here and pushes up through that level, and then that break right there creates additional buying pressure? Even if you just want to call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, fine. But is it valid? Is it plausible to think that a break of the top part of that pattern could create additional buying pressure? Absolutely. So if you like this price range, you like bull pennants, certainly keep an eye on it. Next one here, NIO. Overall, good solid day today. And I realize depending on when you bought, if you bought yesterday up around here, then yeah, you're still underwater. But big picture wise, even with that gap up and then the bigger pullback here, the chart continues to hold above the key levels. And this will mean a little bit more to those that have watched past videos. But if you have, you know that I've talked about NIO, and more specifically have continued to talk about that purple line right there, the 50-period moving average. And you can see that despite some of these bigger pullbacks, the price has continually stayed up above that level. So from the overarching standpoint, assuming you do care about the big picture point of view, then really the quickest and easiest way to understand all of this in terms of the health of the chart, the health of the price, is as long as the price is above that purple line, then nothing to worry about. Even when there's bigger pullbacks, that's okay, because if the price is above that purple line, that implies in and of itself that the price is building higher lows. And from a trend building standpoint, that's what it's all about. Now, to zoom back in here a little bit here, very interesting final 30 minutes of the day. You can see good solid green candle, broke up through this area of resistance. So that brings up the valid question of, is this breakout the start of something bigger? Always an exciting question when you can ask that. So as far as the next key battleground to watch from a resistance standpoint, key level to watch very closely right up there around $7.25. So keep an eye on that. But anyway, look at it, especially from the big picture point of view, good solid day today and definitely a good overall uptrend. Next one here, ticker symbol MGRX. And yeah, for those of you longtime viewers, you're probably going to know what I'm going to say next. This is a very ugly looking chart, but there can be opportunity in the ugly. And this is certainly a situation where if you're not disciplined, if you're not going to be honoring stop loss and all that, I mean, you shouldn't even be trading. But that's a whole other topic. You definitely should not be attempting situations like this because you don't want to find yourself turning into a bag holder. But what, no doubt about it, very ugly to think that at one time the price was up here and now the price has dropped all the way down here. But what I find interesting is the price is now getting well within striking distance of a couple of these key moving averages. You already know that the purple line is a 50-period moving average, as I mentioned previously. But the pink line there, the big brother of the 50-period moving average, we have the 200-period moving average. And you can see that both these lines are basically at the same value right there. We'll just call it at 0.27. Now, does that mean that the price goes down to 0.27? It will for sure guaranteed go down there and bounce. Of course not. No guarantees. But is it reasonable? Is it plausible to think that the price could bounce from that area? That is certainly more than plausible. So from a risk versus reward scenario, again, assuming you're going to be disciplined, and if you get some sort of bounce, fantastic. But if you don't, and you have a very manageable risk, then you could be looking at making a whole lot more money compared to what was being risked in the first place. So if you like the penny stocks, you like these sort of opportunity in the ugly situations, keep an eye on it. Next one, ticker symbol DUO. Been tracking this one, and it continues to build those higher highs and higher lows. And as I've already talked about, that is the name of the game. So on that note, just continue to watch that purple line right there. And as long as the price stays above it, everything is perfectly fine, even with some of these bigger pullbacks. Because yeah, I understand that if you're, you bought right there, and now all of a sudden the price is all the way down there, that can feel like the end of the world. And I don't know, depending on your strategy, maybe that is really bad if you're some sort of day trade scalper. But again, from the reference point of someone that just cares about the bigger picture, even with that bigger pullbacks, price still very nicely above that purple line. And that's what you want to see as terms of just building an overall healthy move. in terms of levels of resistance, main battleground to watch right up here around, I'm going to just call it $3.87. Sure, maybe you could call it a little higher or lower because the price hasn't, hit the exact level, but just broadly speaking, right up around here, you can see over the past couple of days, price has gotten around that area and has just never been able to build upon or maintain any sort of momentum. So that's not to say that the price can never do that, but it is to say that for whatever reason, there definitely seems to be quite a few sellers that are now hanging up around that area. But again, big picture wise, the overall trend looking very good. Next one here, ticker symbol NVDA, and rough day today, not necessarily because it was a red day, but because it did break down through a couple of key levels. The first level was that green line there that I had mapped out previously, but also now the price is down below that pink line there, 200 period moving average, and that's going to be the main area of resistance, which is just based on a foundational rule in charting, which states when levels of support are broken and closed below, they tend to act as resistance, and that's exactly what happened here. Price broke below it, and then you can see right there, went to acting as resistance, and then later on in the day, price tried again, and notice how that pink line once again rejected the price back down. So that's not to say the price can never ever get up above that level, but it is to say that it makes sense why the price is behaving like that, and that moving forward in the near term, that pink line there, 200 period moving average right now valued at 118.15 will be the main battleground to watch resistance wise. In terms of levels of support, next key level from the support standpoint, let me change that to green for support, will be down here at the bottom part of this consolidation, which got kind of close today, but not quite, and that sits right down there around the $115 mark. You can see this was essentially where the price bottomed out back around there, so keep an eye on that. But yeah, rough day today here for NVIDIA, but overall the chart still got opportunities to build those bigger picture higher lows, so we'll see if the bulls can get the job done. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'll be offering here in a couple of days. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box you can use, or if you're watching at my website, there's an area right there on the webpage you can use. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free class. Next one, ticker symbol EONR. Nice mover today and very nice final 30 minutes, although would have been a little bit better had the price been able to maintain some more of its movement. But like I said, that's not to say that the chart's ruined or anything like that. Still, good, nice surge during the latter part of the day. So let's map out some key levels here. So as far as supports are concerned, the key level to watch moving forward would be basically the bottom part of this consolidation, which is sitting right down there around the $1.23 mark. And then from the resistance standpoint, I realize the price did go up that high, but I'm going to go ahead and consider it more so right around the $1.74 mark and just try to kind of find a middle ground right there. And really that's essentially, a sideways channel at a higher level, which is the key part. Whenever you get those higher levels, that's what you want. But when you look at the price today, it was pretty much just chopping back and forth between these couple levels. So moving forward, it's just a question of who's ultimately going to win this sideways channel pattern. The bull is going to win with a push to the upside. Are the bears going to win with a push to the downside? That remains to be seen. But as of right now, got to give the advantage to the bulls just because, again, that last 30 minutes, you had the volume start to return again. You had some good, solid movement. So is that the start of something bigger? We'll see what happens on Wednesday. Next one, TSLA Tesla. And all things considered, good, solid day, especially when you consider how things, were basically playing out with these two 30-minute sessions. I mean, not to state the obvious, but that was a big old drop. And then to see the price recover, not every, all the gains, but a good solid recovery. So there's still work that needs to be done, but, definitely a whole lot better than where it was not that long ago when the price was just getting absolutely, hammered down during each of those 30-minute sessions. So moving forward in terms of, actually, let me do this. Levels of support. You cannot see that one. My ugly mug is in the way. There we go. Sorry, I just wanted to get things a little rearranged, but save your time and not have you watch me fumble around with it. But there we go. So that would be a key level of support just from the overarching standpoint. And, if the price stays above there, then in my opinion, the chart is still perfectly fine. But even if the price, and this really just shows how strong Tesla is right now, but even if the price were to drop below that trend line right there, you still do have the overarching moving average right there, which you now know is that 200 period moving 200 period moving average. Now, if the price comes down there and crashes through there, okay, that's where the conversation needs to start to change a little bit. But as of right now, the price isn't anywhere even to breaking down through that level, let alone that moving average right there. So keep an eye on those levels from a support standpoint. And then in terms of areas of resistance, just from the overarching standpoint, keep an eye on that level up there. And, you know, if the price does stay between these levels, essentially you're going to start to have a wedge pattern form. But because this wedge is forming within an overall uptrending context, it would still be a bullish wedge any way you look at it. But like I said, even if you look at today, just essentially in a very narrow sense, good recovery from the big dumpage that was happening right there. So we'll see if the bulls can build upon this momentum. Next one, UAVS, and nice recovery today after the train wreck that happened yesterday. Yeah, the price did pull back here from these highs, but there's still an opportunity to build the higher bases, which is why I would definitely consider this level down here a very, very important area at 12 cents. And 12 cents just because, I'm not saying this will occur, but for explanation's sake, if the price were to come down to 12 and then break down below there, what would you have at that point? You would quite literally have the price having gone right back to where it was. And I mean, not to insult your intelligence, but price movements that make great moves and then all of a sudden go right back to where they were, not exactly a sign of genuine power. Again, I'm not saying that's what's going to occur, but that is why I would say 12 cents, very, very important level of support. In terms of levels of resistance, main battleground to keep a close eye on any sort of attempted recovery, right there at the 18.5 cent mark. But even if the price does break above there, I wouldn't get too excited because not that far away, you then have the purple line there, the 50 period moving average that you'd want to keep an eye on too from a resistance standpoint. But regardless, definitely a whole lot better than when the price was sitting down here. So we'll see if the price can build in, and continue to build in some upwards momentum. Next one, HOLO, and a little tricky to talk about because it's all about perspective. Any sort of day trader, flipper, scalper that was buying right there and their plan was to buy and sell within 7 minutes. Well, then from that standpoint, the things are looking pretty rough because there was a bigger pullback. But big picture wise, as I've already talked about, these lows keep getting higher and higher, and that's the name of the game. You can see a low there, a low there, low there. If you envision those as stair steps, you have stair steps progressing the upward direction. Or if you just don't even, if that's too complicated, just looking at the moving averages, you can see the purple line there. Nice upward slope to it. Price isn't anywhere close to it. So again, from the overarching standpoint, everything is perfectly fine. And I realize that could sound crazy if you're a day trader that bought right there, but that's why I'm trying to distinguish. There are multiple ways to approach this. So, but big picture wise, yes, definitely still a good looking chart. In terms of areas of resistance and specifically the near term areas, that little area of resistance right there is fascinating, especially when in the last 30 minutes you can see the price was knocking on the door. Couldn't quite push through it, but it was certainly within the realm, and it certainly still is within the realm of reason that the price could push up through there on Wednesday. Of course, no guarantees, but I mean, the price is literally right at that area, so keep an eye on that. And then, of course, just from an overarching standpoint, yes, that level up there would be the key area of resistance, right around 47. But one hurdle at a time, and let's just first see, can the price break above that initial trend line right there? So grab your popcorn for Wednesday. Next one here, TQQQ, and overall, it's hanging in there, and I say that because the price did ultimately respect that pink line there, which you now know is the 200 period moving average. Yeah, there was a couple times where the price was down below it, but the bears could never really gain any sort of true traction, build any sort of true momentum. The bull stepped up every time, and just, the 200 period, ultimately, it held strong, and from a bull standpoint, it behaved how you would want it to behave. It did not allow the price to come down there and then just continue to break below it. Did not happen. So long way of saying that moving forward, yes, right around 68.80 is going to be that key area of support just from a technical standpoint, because that 200 period moving average, it's a very well-known level, and it's a level that you want to see hold strong whenever the price is down around it, again, assuming you are bullish. If you're bearish, and yeah, you want to see the price just absolutely crash down through there. In terms of areas of resistance, no need to overcomplicate it. Just continue to watch that purple line there. Was a support, but as I mentioned earlier, when supports are broken, they tend to act as resistance. You can see how the price got below it. It hasn't been totally clean, but you can see that the price has just struggled whenever it's gotten up around that area. Not necessarily to break above the purple line because it's broken above it several times, but in terms of building momentum and maintaining momentum, that's where it's failed miserably each and every time. So any sort of attempted recovery back upwards, you're going to want to keep a close eye on that purple line there. 50 period moving average currently valued at 71.43, but we'll see what happens with it. But it's looking like probably another showdown is coming on Wednesday with that 200 period moving average, so we'll see if the price can continue to stay above it. For you Bitcoin traders, I'll get to Bitcoin here in just a second, but for your stock traders, again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about the tool, then definitely go get signed up for the free webinar. It'll be very soon, Thursday, October 3rd at 8 p.m. Eastern time, so I hope to see you there. And it is a genuine live event. I say that because there will be a Q&A session. So if you have questions, please bring them, and I'd be happy to answer them live for you. All right, now let's talk some Bitcoin. One quick clarification, I am now on the 4-hour time frame, meaning each of these represents 4 hours and not 30 minutes. That is because Bitcoin is open 24/7, and in order for this analysis to remain relevant as long as possible, I want to look at longer time frames, just walk you through some questions. But yeah, as of now, as of me recording this, things are looking very, very shaky. So let's just assume you're watching this video 15 hours after I upload it. Question number one you're going to want to ask yourself is, where is the price at relative to 60,200, which is the value of that 200 period moving average? If you're answering in any way that the price is up above that level, that's at, I'm not going to say it's great, but it's at least stabilized out. Because even if the price is still just sitting right around here, at least the price is going sideways. Again, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a great situation, but it's certainly better than if you're saying, well, actually, Clay, the price is down below 60,200 while, when I'm watching this. Well, that would just imply that this downwards movement right now has continued to go down. So in my mind, that's a pivotal level. That's going to tell you a whole lot. Again, any answer at all that the price is above 60,200, that is, that's at least things haven't gotten worse. Now, common sense here, if you're saying, well, actually, Clay, I'm watching it and the price is all the way up here all of a sudden, well, that'd be a very good situation, because that would tell you that not only did the price stop going down, but it got a very, very solid bounce to it. But certainly keep an eye on 60,200. Now, if you're saying, well, Clay, the price is down below 60,200, next immediate question, okay, well, where's the price at relative to 57,500? If you're answering the question that the price is down below there, then that would be a very, very sketchy situation. I'm not going to say that the entire chart is epically destroyed, but I would say that that's a good size red flag, and things may be starting to really fall apart that much more. So I'd be surprised if you're answering the question, the price is down below there, but I suppose you never know, especially when it's Bitcoin. So all eyes, though, on 60,200. Will it hold? Will it not? So like I said, when you're watching this, if you're 15, 20 hours from now, you're going to have a lot more data. But as of right now, that's certainly the key level and key question to be keeping an eye on. And as I invited the stock traders, I'm inviting you as a Bitcoin and crypto trader to definitely get signed up for this free webinar, because what you're learning about can and certainly should be used within the world of Bitcoin and crypto. So definitely go get signed up. It'll be pretty soon here. Like I said, just a couple of days on Thursday, October 3rd at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you there. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these, hit that like button. Make sure if you haven't hit the subscribe button, you do that. And like I said, if you have any questions, let me know down below. But thanks for watching. Go get signed up for that free training.